Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Omnium channel. So, earlier today, the Israeli hostages were just released from Gaza, which, no matter which side of the conflict you find yourself on, or no side, I don't know, doesn't really matter, you should find this to be a great thing. If you do not, please seek an exorcism immediately. Um, so, so as of now, it's looking like the ceasefire is going to hold at least for a little while. The Gazans have not handed over all of the bodies of the dead hostages. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they have the bodies. I don't. Gaza's been pretty well bombed out. I think they're under rubble. You might be able to find a few more, but last I checked, they had found 4 of them, and I don't think they're gonna be able to find. I'd be going. I'd be pushing it if I said I thought they were going to find 10 more, probably. I don't think they have any idea where they are. Gaza has had little or no command structure for the past year, probably. Israel took out the last of them. Okay, well, I shouldn't say the last of them. They've had something, but it's been severely degraded. Communications have been pretty much non-existent at this point. They've been pushed into progressively smaller and smaller areas, split off from the rest of them of their army. They don't. I don't think they. Anyway, I say that to say they don't know where those bodies are. They're not going to be able to find them. It's not going to be good. Uh, anyway, so hopefully this truce holds. It looks like it's going to hold at least for now. I wouldn't put it past somebody to do something stupid and start this up again. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But anyway, let's take a look at what the news has to say about it. Alright, so here we have live from Gaza hostages square, all you need to know on this historic day. This is going to be from the Jerusalem Post staff, which I think this is mostly just a timeline. Yeah, so 6:30 a.m., the highway closed ahead of the president's visit. Then 8 a.m., the first hostages were handed over. Yep. Then president arrives. Second round hostages. Yes, this did happen. This was written fairly early in the morning, so it's going to have some uh, projections, I suppose. Yes, some future tense uh, things. So we've got second round of hostages. Yes, those were released. Netanyahu met with Trump. Netanyahu and Trump met with the families of the hostages. They spoke at the Knesset, which is the Israeli parliament. Israeli government is super weird. Not going to bother explaining it right here. It's kind of dumb. Doesn't really work that great. Kind of like all parliamentary systems. So now we've got released hostages reunited with their families. Yes, they were. In fact, I think I've got a video up here somewhere of it. If I'll pull one up. Really beautiful to see. It's great. Sucks that it's taken this long. It's been 2 years. Should have been over in a couple of weeks, probably. I did the math once. If you take how the rate of America's and America's allies rate of territorial expansion in Iraq, you end up conquering all of Gaza in like under an hour, which is I know that's an absurd overgeneralization. That's not how warfare actually works, but still, it's an interesting benchmark to use. I think that this war, I think Gaza should have been I don't care if you think that Israel's in the right or Israel's in the wrong, or if you like Hamas or Palestine. Okay, actually, I do care if you like Hamas. There's something wrong with you. So, um, yes. Anyway, so Israel should have been finished with this probably a month into the war. There is no reason why this has taken this long, other than the hostages, which now you're negotiating with terrorists, which is a whole other thing. Either way, I think this should have even if you were taking care of the trying not to hit the hostages, I think that you should have been over a lot sooner than 2 years. But that's neither here nor there. We're here now. It's great that they're back. Sucks that so many people died. Now we have, yeah, so all of this happened. Not so much important. I think that they did sign this, if I remember correctly. I haven't taken a look in the past little while. And this is probably not going to go out till tomorrow morning, so it's not that. So, yeah. I'm going to say definitely by the time this goes out, this has been signed. If it hasn't, well, I'll be wrong, and that's gonna suck. But whatever. Suspend the agreement with Hamas until all... Okay, that's weird. So this one looks like it's saying that this just happened, but up here it's using future tense. Yeah. Second round of expected hostage handovers between Hamas and the Red Cross. Maybe it's updated, but I don't know why they wouldn't change that. Just kind of weird, doesn't really matter. Moving on. So, now, U.S. says A today. Not a great source, but it's going to work for this purpose. Who are the hostages released by Hamas as part of the ceasefire agreement? I have not read this yet, so we're going to see. Washington. Hamas has released 20 hostages held in Gaza after 738 days in captivity. That's a long time. Imagine not being able to see your family for 2.5 years. I guess, no, it's 2 years. What am I thinking? Freedom Monday, that's today. Probably tomorrow by the time you're seeing this. Or later, probably, because not many people are probably going to see this the first day. 7 have returned, so this is fairly early in the day. Because I think the rest have been, yeah. So they were already being, the remaining 13 were already being accompanied. Now they're here, or not here, they're there, over in Israel. So, here's who they were. Who is this? Oh, that's nice. Good for her. Very human reaction, unlike certain people. Abducted from a shelter after fleeing the Nova Music Festival. Yeah, at least he wasn't shot, like a lot of people were. Taken from a kibbutz near Oz. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. I don't really care either. But if I did, feel free to compliment me. If I didn't, feel free to yell at me. Doesn't matter. Helps in the algorithm. Near the Gaza Strip, brother of the hostage, David Cunijo, who I get. Oh, here he is, down here. Kidnapped from the music festival. I'm not going to pronounce these names right, so since they're names of actual people, I'm not going to give them the dishonor of mispronouncing them. So this guy, 32, kidnapped from the Nova Music Festival. I bet it seems like that's where a lot of these people came from. 23, kidnapped while working at the Nova Music Festival. So yeah, looks like most of these. Abducted from kibbutz near Oz with his wife, twin daughters, sister-in-law, and young niece. That is awful. The women and girls were released in November 2023. Brother of this guy up here. Cool. Great that they released. Sucks that it took this long. I'm happy these people got out earlier. Eitan Horn. I think I pronounced that right. I don't know. 38. Kidnapped from the same kibbutz as the last guy while visiting his brother. Yeah, that sucks. You go and visit your family member and get kidnapped and don't see anybody you know for 2 years. War is bad. Controversial take, I know, but generally try to avoid it where possible. Finish it as quickly as possible if unavoidable. Another 8, huh? Cool. 25. Abducted at the Nova Music Festival. Again. This guy kidnapped from the Music Festival, one of the festival's organizers. Again, abducted from the Nova Music Festival. Twin brothers. I wonder why they put these brothers together, but not these guys up here. Both worked as light and sound technicians. Were kidnapped from kibbutz Kfar Asa in southern Israel. Alright, I think I did that right. Doesn't matter. Nova Music Festival. Oh yeah, this guy. I remember hearing about him. I'm sure it's happened more than once, but still. Soldier pulled from his tank and abducted near the Gaza border. This is why you do not open the door when the enemy knocks and says, "Please let me in." Gotta lighten the mood somehow. I mean, okay, lighten the mood. I'm reading about these people being kidnapped 2 years ago. which we are all extremely happy that they've been released. But reading about it again is a little heavy. Kidnapped from his home in Kibbutz Nir Oz, along with his partner. Just say girlfriend or wife. It's cringe to say partner. I hate it when people do that. Ilana Grotesque. Oh, nope, not saying that. Gonna screw it up. She was freed November of 2023. That's great. He has muscular dystrophy, which makes conditions. Oh, was this guy that was super skinny? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not gonna say that. Probably isn't. I probably got a mixed. I guess they're probably all super skinny at this point, though. An Israeli Defense Force soldier kidnapped after his tank was attacked near the border between Kibbutz and Oz and Nirim. He's the only survivor among 4 crew members. That's awful. 48. Kidnapped from his home in Kibbutz Nahal Oz. If I did that right. Nova Music Festival. Worked as a family bakery before his abduction and was studying finance. Well, wonder what he'll do now. Yeah, because these were all people. They all had jobs. They all had families. They all still have families. Probably not jobs. I have to figure that out. Where were we? Home. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Getting out from the nose of music festival. I think that's it. Yeah. So it's great they're back. Sucks that it took this long. As I said before, don't do war unless you have to. If you do have to, get it over quick. No, none of this slow walking it, being stupid about whether or not to negotiate, being stupid about whether or not the deal's enough, even though you have no cards. I'm not just talking about this one, I'm talking about them in this one, and I'm talking about them in general. Can't keep doing this. I'm hopeful that this peace will last a little bit. I don't think it's going to last super long. It's not that there's no good answer to that solution. Can't just displace 2 million Palestinians. The surrounding Arab nations don't want them because they're the most radical Muslims in the world, or some of them anyway. So, and what that means is if Israel pushes them out, they're going to go to the West, which is unacceptable and cannot be allowed to happen under any circumstances. We can't have 2 million more Muslims, especially not radical ones, just coming in and trying to do God knows what. I'm not going to get into that right now, I don't think. But anyway, can't be allowed to happen. I don't know what should happen there. Gotta start rebuilding. I don't know what that's going to look like or who's going to decide how that runs. But hopefully we can not have Hamas in power. Hopefully we can not have tons of people getting killed every couple of years on both sides. All right. From Newsmax. Yeah, hostages reunited with their families. That's great. So, been released. Newsmax sucks at writing, so I'm not going to bother reading this out loud. Plus, I'm not too great at reading out loud either. Hamas terrorists, Monday. Showed them returning home. I think this might have had the video. If not, I'll look it up and put it in at the ending. Post on X. So I can click these, yeah. Yeah, I cannot read these names, so it's not. This is. Honestly, this is your job, guys. Right? So I can read it. This is just straight news. There's not much really here. It's just people happy. Great. Jews are praying. Nothing from. Alright, well. Operation Returning Home. That's fitting. That's nice. I like that. Returning hostages. These guys airlifted by Israeli Air Force to hospitals. Yeah, because they're going to need some serious medical attention. Alright, let's watch one of these. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. I haven't seen him in 2 years. That's crazy. Not gonna watch the whole thing. I don't think that's really appropriate to do, but just shows you how happy these people are to have their family members back. Anyway, as I was saying, there is no good solution for that region. It's probably just going to go back to the way it was, to be perfectly honest, and we're going to have to redo this again in 10 years. I hope that's not what's going to happen. Hopefully they can figure this out and get it to work in a somewhat decent manner, but I don't think the Palestinians are going to integrate to Israeli society. I don't think that Israel really wants them to either, to be perfectly honest. Um, I don't it's gonna take years to rebuild Gaza after this, because those buildings were not built to, well, they built to their code, they weren't built to our code. They're gonna have to be rebuilt. Hopefully they'll use rebar this time instead of using those in tunnels. We'll see if they do. That'd be great. I don't know if they will, but those people need to go somewhere and do something. And I don't know what they're gonna do right now. Israel can't just pull out straight away. Obviously, they're gonna have to do it slowly and put their border security back up. Probably gonna have quite a few more tanks on the border, I'm gonna think, since this, but ideally, the other Arab nations and whatever Western observers are gonna end up here are gonna be able to keep the jihadis in check. We'll see if that works. I have my doubts, but we can all hope, right? Anyway, subscribe to the channel, like and comment, all that stuff. You know, you guys watching on YouTube, you should know what to do by now. Just do it. Anyway, see ya. Bye.